What's going on, everybody? I'm Coach Gary. Welcome to G Daddy Media. The NCAA National Basketball Championship is set and it's going to be determined by the Kansas Jayhawks and the North Carolina Tar Heels. Let's talk about how each one of the teams got to the Final Four and how they ultimately made it to the biggest game of the year. And we'll talk about that right after this. All right, now some say that Kansas had an easier road to get here to North Carolina. I'm not sure. Kansas was seeded at number one, North Carolina number eight, but maybe Kansas was just better than everybody they played. So let's take a look at how it all went down. Kansas played number 16, Texas Southern. The score was 83-56. They then played Creighton. The score was 79-72. They then played number 4, Providence. The score was 66-61. Finally, they played number 10, Miami, and they defeated Miami 76-50. Now, for the Tar Heels started out with number 9, Marquette. The score is 95-63. They then played number 1, Baylor. They defeated the Baylor Bears 93-86 in overtime. UCLA came next. They were number 4. The Tar Heels defeated them 73-66, and then finally they defeated the Cinderella team, number 15, St. Peter's 69-49. Now, how did each one of these teams do once they got to the Final Four? Well, the Final Four was determined between Kansas and Villanova and North Carolina and Duke. Let's take a look at the Kansas-Villanova game really quick. This game was basically determined by field goal percentage. I say field goal percentage. Once we look at the stats, you'll see what I'm talking about. But basically, the Jayhawks just outplayed them. The Jayhawks were a little bit stronger than the Wildcats, and we're waiting on the Wildcats to make that big run, but they just never could. The guards for the Jayhawks, they controlled the game, and the Jayhawks were able to go inside and have a lot of success against the Wildcats. Now, the Wildcats were short one of their main guys, but ultimately the Jayhawks defeated them 81-65. If you take a look here at the field goal percentage, you can see that Kansas shot 53% to Villanova's 38.6. Every time Villanova would get close, I think they got it down to maybe 3 at one point, but once they got close, Kansas would just extend their lead. All right, both teams hit 13 threes. The free throws weren't really a big issue. Kansas did out rebound of the Wildcats, but really that biggest difference there was just Kansas was just a stronger team. All right, they shot better from the floor, and ultimately number 1 finally prevailed and got to the final game. All right, so if we take a look at the stats for Villanova, Gillespie had 16 points, and B. Slater scored 16. For the Jayhawks, McCormick 25 points, and then Agbaji scored 21 points. So now we get to the most anticipated game of last night, and that was Duke versus Carolina. This would have been Duke versus Carolina number 3 because at the beginning of the year, Duke basically embarrassed North Carolina at home, and then Carolina got them back in Cameron Indoor Stadium. This was really a highly unlikely game. None of the analysts, none of the experts called this one. North Carolina and Duke would meet again. But as you can see here, Carolina prevailed. They ended up beating Duke twice this year, 81-77, and none any bigger, I guess, than this one, because it was the Final Four to determine which team, which ACC team, by the way, was going to get to the national championship. Now, if you look at the stats, man, they were close. Field goal percentage, Carolina had just a slight edge on Duke, but Duke actually held this category most of the game, and the difference was only like 5%, 0.5%. 3 pointers, that helped Carolina out big time there. Carolina hit 10 to Duke's 5, but Duke hasn't shot the three ball very well all tournament anyway, or very much this tournament. And but the biggest difference here was the free throws. All right, if you look at the free throws, Carolina hit 70 now. Neither one of them met my key point as free throws go, and that's 85%. Neither one of them did that. Carolina only hit 17 out of 24, but Duke only hit 12 out of 20. That was a big difference in the game right there. You know, Carolina out rebounding 50-41. But if you come down and look at everything else, a lot of it is sort of close. Duke had more assists. Duke had more steals. Duke had one less block than North Carolina, and Duke finally straightened up on their turnovers, because before this game, Duke, their first game, 13 turnovers. The next two games, 10 turnovers. The last game, 15 turnovers. The day they had 4 turnovers to Carolina's 10. So the biggest difference right there was the free throws. Now, for you young people, you millennial basketball players, who think three-point shooting, and dribbling are the most important things. I'm telling you right now, boys basketball and girls basketball, free throws are still an important part of the game. They are free points. Many games have been lost because of free throws. They are very important. It doesn't take any time to practice. And you got to practice in volume. Shoot your free throws. Don't just worry about shooting threes and dribbling and all that. That's very important, but hitting free throws are important too, because like I said, if Duke hits their free throws right here, we don't know what could happen in this game. All right, they could win this game if they hit their free throws. All right, so let's take a look at the scoring for Duke. Paolo Banchero, 20 points. He also had 10 rebounds. Keels came off the bench. He was big for the Duke Blue Devils yesterday. He hit 19 points. For North Carolina, Caleb Love. Caleb Love has been playing the best basketball he's been playing all year in the tournament. He had 6 points at halftime. He ended up with 28. R.J. Davis, another guard, playing very good for North Carolina, had 18 points. And Bacot snatched down 21 rebounds. Haven't heard anything about Bacot's injury. It was pretty bad. He had to leave the game, but he did say at the end of the game that there's no way he's going to sit out this national championship game, the biggest game of the year. All right, so with that said, the stage is set for North Carolina versus Kansas. The game is going to be at 9:20 tomorrow. I will be streaming this game. Make sure you guys come to G Daddy Media. All you got to do is click the thumbnail. It's already there. Leave a comment. What we do is watch the game. I do my little play-by-play. We talk. If you have anything to say about the game, type it in the chat. I'll respond to it. If you want to hang out the whole game, great. If you just want to stop by and leave a comment, do that, and that's outstanding too. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Hope you guys have a good time watching this game. It's been great reporting to you this information, and we'll see what happens. I'll check you guys out next time. Peace.